Good evening, friends, and welcome to Kit Crush Wednesday. It's Lisa Maynard, and thanks for joining me tonight. We are going to look at a new kit that came out last month that I just got just in the last few days, and this is a really cool kit. If you've ever watched one of my lives where we put together the plants, and they used to be behind me on my ledge back here, I had them back there before we changed it up for Christmas. This is similar. This kit is similar. We're not going to make cards tonight. We're not going to make party gifts. We're not going to make things like that. We are going to make some landscape scenes. So I'm just going to wait for everybody to pop on here a little bit. I see a couple people. So when you join, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Tell me hello or wave, say hi, whatever. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around and we're going to get started so I can show you two of the landscapes that I've already put together, and we're going to put two more of the four together tonight. So let me go ahead and switch this camera around. And here we go, friends. This kit is called Layered Landscapes, and these are so fun. Absolutely so much fun to do. I have put together two already because I wanted to give you an idea of what they look like. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but they are in a frame and we can make them stand up, or there's a hook so you can hang them on the wall. So here's one of them. This is like a spring scene with some snow-covered mountains in the background. And I think you can kind of see all the layers in it. Now we're going to put a couple together tonight. So you're going to be able to see just how many layers these are. So it comes in a set of 4. Here is the other one. This is another wildlife scene. We've got a flowing river and lots and lots of layers to it. And again, it can stand up like an easel or hang from your wall. So very, very cool. I'm going to go ahead and set these up here aside for the moment, and I'm going to go ahead, and we don't have much to show you for the kit. This is all I'm going to be able to show you tonight. You have your instructions. It comes in a box, but I've already put the pieces together and got them ready, so there's really not much to show you other than it comes with, like I showed you, the frames, and there's a mat, and then all the pieces to make your designs. So you've got your instructions, which are very helpful to use, especially to know where to place your foam adhesive strips. We've got some mini glue dots that we're going to use. Those are for the mat that we're going to use in those frames. And then we have, you get two sheets of these adhesive strips. They're like the Stampin' Dimensionals, but they're foam adhesive strips, and they come in this length, and we used those. That was just the cardboard that was in the box. So I'm going to go ahead and set those aside, and we're going to bring in our first, well, not our first project, but the next one we're going to work on. So again, I have gotten all the layers ready to go on this. And I'm going to go ahead and flip those over. And this is what you start with. This is your frame, and we'll put that in just a moment, or the mat, and we'll put that in a moment. But this is your beginning layer, and it looks just like this. So there's multiple layers to it. So our first layer is this layer. So as you build this landscape, the layers get smaller in size this way. So you create more depth in your artwork. So I've already put my adhesive foam strips on here, and I've placed them where they told me to place them according to the directions. Now, one little tip is I didn't put them exactly at the edge, but fairly close. And I got them as close to this edge as I possibly could. Now, if that came off, then I simply just clipped the end over here. So we're going to go ahead and take these off. This is a super easy kit to make, and this would be a great little Christmas present for someone if you wanted to make them, or if you wanted to give them to someone who wanted to create them themselves. Now, how I've done this is I've turned my piece around, and I'm going to layer like this. I'm going to get this fairly even with the bottom and the sides. And when I get that like so, I'm just going to give it a nice little press. Now, as you can see, that hangs over a little bit there. It's not going to matter because when it's in the frame, you're not going to be able to see that. So there, we just give it a nice little press and we've got our first layer going. Let's move on to the second layer. It's this layer. We've had some more like sand dune rock formations. I'm going to just take these backings off of my my layer. And again, I'm just going to flip this around and without getting my head in the way. And if you can see that, I'm going to try and line that up as best I can with that bottom layer. And once I get that about where I want it, then I'm just going to give it a nice little press on all the parts where we have that. And here we have our second layer and it's looking like that. Now we have 2 more layers to do. Again, super easy, super fun, makes really cute scenes. Once I take down my Christmas decorations, I'm definitely going to put these back up behind me so you'll get to see them on our lives. Now again, flipped it around. This time I'm going to bring this over a little bit because I wasn't very pleased with the way that I had it before, but I'm going to try and line it up so it is flush on the bottom there. And there we have it, just like that. And see how that is layering now? They're all fairly in the same spot. And again, just give it a little push. Now we've got some cactuses and some other rock formations coming here. And now we've got our final layer. And I'm going to take the backings off of this. Super simple, very fun to do. This would be a great project for kids. It goes really, really fast. The longest that it takes is to prep your pieces with the foam adhesive strips. So again, I'm going to line that up just like so. And right like, let's move that down just a little bit. Yeah, just like so. There we go. And there we have our desert scene. How cool is that with our cactus and our flowers and then all the way up to the cliffs on our rocks? So, so very cool. Now, I'm going to go ahead and set this aside while we go ahead and bring in our mat. So if you can see, I've already put the glue dots on here and I'm going to take the backing off of those because we're going to go ahead and put that in our frame. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this up like so. These just, if you push on them, they'll flip up for you just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and take this piece out and set that just right there. And I'm going to get my, if I can find it here real quick, friends. Sorry, I put it somewhere. It's probably under something. I'm going to go ahead and reach in here. Sorry, and grab another one. My take your pick tool. I'm going to go ahead and take the backings off of this mat here. And then we're going to place that in our frame. And these glue dots are on the front of the mat, what is going to be facing out when you put it in the frame. So I'm going to bring this in here like so. I'm going to flip this over. And I've got these glue dots to the quite a bit to the edge because they're going to attach to this wooden part right here. So I'm going to go ahead and set this in here and get it without sticking it down. Get it about where I want it. That looks pretty good. And then we're just going to give it a good press where we had those glue dots, and that'll stay in there. Plus, your artwork that you've just completed is going to stay in there nicely too. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in just like so. And that sits in there nicely. And then we put our rest of our frame together and we just push these back down just so they're even, straight out. Now see, the top is in lower than the bottom, but that's okay because once you get these all pushed down and you flip this back over, just like so, we're gonna kind of push that to the back. Got something on there. And it's going to sit nicely in that frame. So there is our desert piece just like that. Isn't that so cute? It's just absolutely, I just love these. Like you can't go wrong with these. Very, very cool. So let's go ahead and set that aside, and we have one more to do. Now on this one, I'm going to pull these aside because these are ready to go. And I have my one piece. I've already positioned my mat in there, so we won't have to worry about that. So this is another mountain scene. Here's our first piece. And again, I've put our strips on here just like we need. So I'm going to pull those off of here. And I wish there was something more exciting that we're doing, but we're just layering these up and it creates such a pretty scene. So this is kind of like a lake scene, I believe, and we're going to go ahead and line those up across the bottom. And I don't want to adhere that down yet because I want to get these lined up a little bit better. Again, don't want to adhere that yet. And let's come in here. I am having quite a time doing this tonight for some reason. Let's try that again. So I apologize if you aren't seeing what I'm doing at the moment because I have to have it so close to my face. But yeah, that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and seal that down. Just a nice little press. And here we have our lake. And now we're going to come in and with more of our lake scene here. So we've had multiple different scenes, which is kind of cool. We've had mountaintops and we have a running river, a desert scene, and now we have a lake scene. Very cool. This would be great, like I said, for anything. Great decor for your house or your cabin. Or, you know, like I said, to give as a present to someone. I think anyone would like to have one of these. They're really super fun. All right, let's get that there just a little bit. And we're going to undo this a little bit because these have more pieces. There, that's much better. So again, if it's not working just like it happened to me, don't be afraid to lift those up and fix them. Even if you take a little bit of the paper off underneath, you're not going to see it because it's going to be covered up with your next layer. So that is that one. Now on this one, we have them going across and we have one diagonal. So make sure you pay attention to your instructions of how to put those because we couldn't get one straight. We want to hold that part of the next scene up diagonally. So that is the reason that is like that. So we come in again with our lake scene and we're going to line this up like so. And I don't know why I was having such a terrible time with this one because I didn't have a hard time with the other ones. And again, there we go. We've got our mountains and part of our lake again right there. And as you can see from the light, it's creating a shadow, which is very, very cool. And our final piece, we're going to come in and take the backing off of these. Lots of foam strips. That is why you get 2 in your pack. And so we're going to come in and this is our final piece. And we're going to layer this up right here, right along the bottom and the sides. We're going to layer that right there and give that a nice little push. And there we have our lake scene, friends. Isn't that just the coolest? I think these are so much fun and they would be such great gifts for someone or just add to your house. So we're going to bring this in and we're going to put it in here upside down. We've already got our mat in there and stick that in there nicely. Put our cardboard backing on the rest of our frame. Give those a nice press down. If they're a little hard to do, don't be afraid to get some scissors, or maybe the flat screwdriver end or something to push those down if that's hurting your thumbs or your fingers. They do take a little bit to push down, but once they're down, they're very steady. And so, or sturdy, excuse me. And so here we have it. There is our lake scene. Look how beautiful that is. So our lake scene, we did this one. We have our desert scene. So, so cool. We have our mountain scene and our flowing river scene. So that is the layered landscapes kit, friends. And I think it is absolutely amazing and adorable. And I will put in the comments for sure. Can't layer all of those together like that. I will put in the comments for sure where you can get those on my shop. And I think it's definitely one that you should look at purchasing. I'm going to be sharing some more Christmas cards, hopefully within the next few days. I know people have been wondering. It's been a little crazy at our house, so hopefully we can get that done in the near future. So with that, I'm going to turn this around and wrap up for the evening. All right, where are we at here? There we go. Okay. And so thank you very much for joining me tonight, friends. I really appreciate it. And as always, give me a thumbs up, share with your friends and your family. If people haven't tuned in the past, have them tune in. And again, I will put the link to this kit, Layered Landscapes, in the comments so that you can go and get one for yourself. So have a wonderful Wednesday evening. I can't wait to see you next week. Everyone have a great week. And until then, bye.